Here is my ranking of all 9 of the Skywalker Saga movies. In 9th, I have The Last Jedi. While I can appreciate Rian Johnson trying to do his own thing here, this movie felt the most disconnected from the story and a total misunderstanding of the characters we all grew up loving. This movie was by far the most divisive. In 8th, I have The Rise of Skywalker. While the movie tried to salvage any credibility it had left to the Star Wars name after Episode 8, I think it fell really flat. The only redeeming part of this movie for me is probably Kylo Ren's character arc, but his arc could have been so much better if there was a more cohesive plan for both the story and characters from the beginning of this trilogy. In 7th, I have The Force Awakens. While it's the best and most fun of the sequel trilogy by far, it really is just A New Hope with new characters. This movie had great potential in setting up the rest of the sequels, but it felt unoriginal and sort of like a copy and paste. At number 6, I have Attack of the Clones. Now, I selfishly love this movie, my favorite parts being the scenes between Obi-Wan and Jango Fett, along with the arena scenes, but when comparing it to the other movies in this saga, it's hard to put it at anything higher than 6. In 5th, I put The Phantom Menace. This movie is less action-packed than Attack of the Clones, but the character introduction for Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Darth Maul are all really enjoyable. I don't mind Jar Jar, but I did really enjoy this being a slower burn of a movie. For me, the conversations about the fate of Anakin, the Duel of the Fates, and the pod racing scenes are by far the strongest points. In 4th, I have A New Hope. And without this movie, the rest of Star Wars wouldn't exist. Having said that, it's also the least intriguing of the OG trilogy, which could be a rough take, but considering this trilogy is fantastic from start to finish, it's also hard to put this above the remaining movies, as this movie serves more as an introduction to the world of Star Wars, so it's supposed to be a bit slower. In 3rd place, I have Return of the Jedi. I love this movie, and I think it's an epic conclusion to a perfect trilogy. The redemption of Anakin Skywalker, the throne room scenes, the Battle of Endor, and the opening act are all fantastic. It's just not better than the last 2 movies on this list. Now, these last 2 spots are constantly changing back and forth for me, but at number 2, I have The Empire Strikes Back. The perfect movie from start to finish, the opening on Hoth all the way through to the training on Dagobah, and our introduction to Yoda are so captivating. Then to go to Cloud City, Han being frozen, and then Luke's fight with Darth Vader, all leading to the mind-blowing twist at the end, is a perfectly executed film, and I could watch it over and over. Now, with all that being said, I have, of course, Revenge of the Sith at number 1. My favorite Star Wars movie, and it could be just because I am a prequel baby, but being born in the late 90s and growing up with the prequel trilogy, it was my own slice of what my dad got to experience as a kid with the OG trilogy. Seeing the journey of Anakin and Obi-Wan's brotherhood of mentor and apprentice, to have it all lead to the decimation of the Jedi and the best lightsaber fight in Star Wars history, this movie, while maybe flawed at certain points, is enjoyable from start to finish. It's dark, heartbreaking, and it couldn't have a better story behind the creation of Darth Vader. The emotion in this movie at the end is soul-crushing, but I wouldn't have it any other way. While this may be my ranking and my opinions, what movie order would you change in my list and why?